Dr. Unikura Haruka, Session 2, Log 109. The power is finally back on, and the water levels have receded. Obviously, with that said, we have another student death. Just after 11 p.m. last night, Student 2 lured Student 6 to the amnesia room and struck him over the head with Student 3's toolbox. He then bound Student 6 to the room's chair and forced him to inhale freon gas from the facility's kitchen fridge. During this process, Student 6 aspirated on his own vomit and died, marking Student 2 as the blackened. Despite how up in arms the group seems to be about the events of the day, I can't say I'm particularly disappointed. 2 and 6 have both been a massive nuisance to the entire team since the second they started clamoring all over each other at any given opportunity. With them both gone, we won't have to worry about constantly turning off monitors. Problem solved as far as I'm concerned. I won't mourn either of them. With that out of the way, let's review the execution that Dr. Khan arranged for 2. I'm a bit intrigued by the name, so let's get started. The Pact of Niccolò. Student 2 was placed onto a wooden seat in the middle of a steel-wired trap. All around Student 2, steel wires, reminiscent of violin strings, were strung taut at odd angles, making it difficult for 2 to move in a way without touching them. Surrounding him were a series of buttons on various platforms and panels, each with its own unique color. These buttons were positioned in a way that 2 could reach and press them using both his hands or his feet, depending on the level said button had been placed at. However, unless the buttons were reached out to extremely carefully, 2 would be very likely to strike a wire. Striking a wire would cause it to instantly be snapped, lacerating 2 in the process. With this in mind, the punishment began. The screen in the execution chamber prompted 2 to press specific buttons on specific beats of a designated song. The song chosen for this exercise was Caprice No. 24 in A minor. While the prompts were initially quite slow and forgiving, allowing 2 time to carefully navigate each limb around the wires, these prompts soon became much more demanding, forcing him to speed up. With this reckless speed came mistakes, and with every mistake came a severe laceration. The combination of pain and blood loss quickly began to wear on 2's dexterity, causing further mistakes. In a desperate plea to keep up with the pace of the music, 2 became exceptionally reckless, knowingly forcing his hand through the wires in order to press the buttons and keep himself alive. This proved to have serious consequences. During the 3rd minute of the song, 2 leaned forward and struck a particularly unfortunate wire, lacerating his own throat. This action caused him to jolt in a panic, triggering several more wires in the process. Unable to keep his composure any further, 2 began to miss button presses, leading wires to snap independently of his contact. As more and more button presses were missed, more and more wires snapped. But by this point, 2's fate was secured. Completely covered in lacerations, he soon succumbed to blood loss and died. Good riddance. I had more than enough of him. I hated him, quite honestly, so this is no major loss for me. The Pact of Niccolò. I like it. Niccolò Paganini. He was an Italian violinist who people claimed had made a deal with the devil for his incredible talent. I suppose it's particularly fitting for a fellow violinist who sacrificed his own morals and companion for freedom. I won't dwell on it any further than this. The game is almost over. I've got bigger things to worry about at the moment. I'm not throwing away any more of my time thinking about Yume's worthless friend. He's dead, and my killing environment is a little cleaner now. God, I'm hungry. Dr. Yonakura Haruka. Session 2, Log 109, End.